Hello and welcome again to the Red Thread Knitting Podcast. My name is Elin and today is episode number 6, and I thought we have to have another episode before leaving Luxembourg. I will tell you more about my plans in the end of this episode, but let's get on with the knitting. Today I have a few finished objects that I've been talking about before, of course. Well, actually, that's not true. It's one new that you haven't heard of, because it has also been a bit of a secret. Yeah. I have even more works in progress. You know me by now. I have a lot of them, and some few acquisitions and a gift in the end of this episode. Let's get started. Let's start off by, what am I wearing? This is a new vest, the Friday Slipover V-neck by Petiteknit. Who else? This beauty I started in the Christmas holidays and I finished it just the other day. Today is May 24th, and of course I haven't been knitting on it all the time. I pick it up sometimes from time to time, but it's been with me for 5 months, kind of. I love, as I've said before, I love this pattern. That's a broken rib, and I was very interested to see how I feel in this kind of V-neck. I like kind of the way it fits. I'll make a recording standing up for you. I guess you'll see it over there. And the yarn is from Biche et Buche. It's this a combination of this lamb's wool and this silk mohair. I've shown you before, but I think it got quite nice when I washed it up. It's quite fluffy and soft, actually. I had some comments on the silk mohair when I knitted it, but that it was like clumps in it, in a way. I don't know. You can see it here. No, you can't see it here. Let's see if I can fix that. If not, you'll just have to trust me. But it doesn't... That doesn't show at all, I would say. I like the color, but it, as usual with this kind of color, I would say, it bleeds a lot. When I knit it, I think it was when I knit this as well. Yeah. Well, it makes my fingers kind of blue, and when I washed it, the piece, the water was quite blue. I guess it's a difficult color to make because when I made my boyfriend's hat, it wasn't the same kind of color, kind of blue, deep blue, and although in Rauma Finull, a totally different yarn producer and yarn, but that bleed a lot, and I have tried Malabrigo worsted in kind of this dark blue as well, bleeded a lot. But apart from that, I like this quite a lot. As I said, it's warm and fuzzy, and I'm glad I got to wear it to work before leaving. And it has actually been some rainy last couple of weeks here. I know in Sweden they had summer, very warm summer. No, we haven't had that here. 15 degrees Celsius and a lot of rain. But for knitter, I can wear my knits. That's fine by me, although it's sunny right now and I would like to get out, so I will keep this speed up a bit. My next pair of finished objects is actually now completely finished. I've shown you this more than a couple of times, I think, and that is the slippers. Ta-da! This beautiful these beautiful slippers have been amazing to wear. This is how mine looks like. If you remember, I didn't have enough of this kind of green color because I only bought 4, and I figured with my stitch gauge I would definitely need a bit more than 4. So I got to use my the rest parts of my boyfriend's yarn for his slippers. So there's a nice detail here in the back, and also in the toe. I haven't looked at this before. How cute! How cute! Okay, yeah, they're very comfy, very warm, and these are mine, and this is my boyfriend's. He left them here to wear when he comes back, and he's actually arriving again tomorrow, which I look forward a lot. And these are his. Very nice. So they are definitely felted, but I would say we can see some kind of stitch definition still. Perhaps they could be more felted, but with my stitch definition, my stitch gauge, I didn't dare to wash it even more because they fit perfectly fine now. And how I did to wash them was I washed them in 40 degrees Celsius in a program that was 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then we took them out, and they could definitely have another spin. So we put them in together, actually, both of these pairs at the same time, together with a towel, to make it felt together. And we put it for 30 more minutes. We took him out, tried them on, felt like they feel just a tiny too big, and then we put them in another 30 minutes. So basically 1 hour 20 minutes plus 30 minutes plus 30 minutes, and that made them perfect. And then we wore them and we put on socks over to make them fit like just our feet, which I've seen that people do, and I would say it worked. And then they got to stand and get completely dry. But I've been longing for these kind of slippers for plenty of years now. Well, since I started knitting, basically, I haven't bought any new slippers just because I thought I can make them myself. But you have to get around to it and you have to make them finished, and now they are. So that's lovely. Okay, are you ready for it? Because this is the best finished object today. So this is the case. I have actually got a couple of new friends here in this tiny village where I live, and they are having a baby. And I wanted to make them something, because I can, and because I want them to remember me, and I would like to appreciate their child that is not yet born, and I will probably not meet it. I'm leaving in a week, and the baby is due in July. So I made something to this baby. The duck that is called Stanley Duck, and it's a free pattern on a website or a blog that is called One Dog Woof. This is the first pattern I crochet. I have actually made this pattern before, approximately a year ago, and it's quite special to me because I made it for my grandma, who we got to know didn't have long left, so I wanted to make her something to be next to her all of the time, even when we couldn't be there. So I made her a duck, and now I've made this duck again, but for a new life, and I feel like that is quite a beautiful thing. So it's very cute because it has like if you look in the back here, it's kind of a triangle, and then you can see that it has quite a cute bum here, and it sits very well, and it has 2 wings. I mean, yeah, I'm not a I'm not very used to crochet. I don't do that very much. What I want to say is it might not be perfect, but that's fine. I think it's very cute. Like the wings are not quite the same shape. I think this is the way it should be, like a tiny wing here. This one doesn't really have that kind of shape, and I don't know why, but that's fine. I think they will like it. I hope they will like it. I think it's cute, and the yarn is very cozy. I'll just put him or her right there, perhaps right there. What I did use for this one was 2 cozy yarns that was called Boheme Velvet Double. and it is 100% polyester, 70 meters per 50 gram, and it's actually made in Denmark. I did buy it here in Luxembourg, but anyhow, this is the duck. Is sitting okay? Okay, good. Let's get on with it. That was my finished objects. Let's move on to the work in progress. How do you say that in plural? Anyhow, I'll start with mentioning two projects that I do not have here because I brought them back to Gothenburg when I've been on vacation there, and I actually left it there because I don't need more things to move home from here. So I'll put in a picture of how they look now. This is the Agnes sweater by Camilla. It's a sweater made for my boyfriend. He chose the yarn, the colors, and the pattern. But I think it's so beautiful. I want one for myself as well. So it's in alpaca yarn. I've mentioned this before, but this is how far I've gone right now. Not that much left actually, which is fun. I'm looking forward to continuing with it. Next up, something I started for my vacation. So I think I knitted on that on the plane back, and I am now I have made a part of the color work that is in this going to be a cardigan. The pattern is made by Maja Karlsson, and it's from the book that I bought called something that I definitely know but don't remember right now, so I'll write that there. I've been having my eyes on this pattern for a long time. I bought the yarn thinking I wanted to do something. I didn't know why. I didn't know why. I didn't know what. And it's actually this yarn. I didn't bring all of the yarn home because I knew I wouldn't have time to knit it anyway, so I didn't try to fit that. This is a beautiful yarn made in Sweden from Yarns and Barns. This one is called Swede, Sweed, and it is 100 grams and 220 meters. It's 100% wool by wool from Svea and Gotlands for sheep. Gotlands sheep. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. It's from Ullforum. Is Yarns and Barns the same thing as Ullforum? Probably not. I'm not quite sure. Need to check that up. But this is a beautiful, beautiful blue color. Hope to get this in focus. And I have this red color, although I think I might not be able to join this in the cardigan. But I do have another yarn that it's the same yarn, but it's in white color, another color. So this cardigan will be blue and white. Quite summery, I hope, but warm, of course. this is a good ergonomic position. All right, yeah, so we'll see however that goes. Oh yeah, the next thing I would like to approach is a sad thing. I am going to frog something, and that I haven't really done that before, not when I've gotten this far. But this is, and you've seen this one before as well. I've continued to knit on it, but I know now that I will not continue to knit on my Tolsta Tee, and there are several reasons for that. It's been a nice round and round project, but it's Tolsta Tee, made patterned by Vitre Design. I use the yarn Double Sunday. No. Sorry. I use the yarn Duo from Sandnes Garn. It is 55% merino wool and 45% cotton. It should not be itchy. It feels so soft to the touch, but when I wear it, I've tried it on, and I can feel, especially here, if I have like a short sleeve something underneath, and I'm bare underneath here, I can't have this on my skin, unfortunately. So that's one reason, and I don't know what to do with it, because maybe a skirt or something. I haven't done any skirt like this. It just came to me that I did make a skirt. I have crocheted a skirt. I might have to show you that one because it's beautiful, and it's exactly in this color. Well, another kind of skirt, a skirt that you want to have to be a bit warm, maybe. I don't know, but I can't have this on my body here. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that I've made the arms and also the body too tight. I felt when I tried it on, it's going to be a tight t-shirt, and I don't want this to be a tight t-shirt. I've realized that now. So that would mean I would have to rip back quite a lot anyway. And then I feel like, yeah, it's a beautiful pattern in the way that this edge here on the shoulder, I like the way it looks. And I like the way, I like the thought of this. And I like the thought of this kind of high neck. I mean, it looks very good when it's finished, but it was too difficult to knit this part. So that made me a bit sad about this pattern, unfortunately. I know many people have made this pattern, and I suppose hopefully they are very pleased, but for me, I started knitting this a year ago as well, in May, June 23, and then I had been a knitter for a year and a half, and I hadn't made that many raglan t-shirts or sweaters to figure out by myself how to make the increases. And in the pattern, in my point of view, the reader, the knitter, doesn't get enough information of how to make the increases, which made me frustrated, and I felt alone. And I guess if you are an experienced knitter and you have done things like this before, or you have someone close you can ask how to, it would maybe work. But I don't have that, and I got to try and by myself realize that no, that thing didn't work. It didn't work to make the increases that close to each other, because it made the increase look odd. I don't know if I can show you an example, but no, well, I can't say it looks bad right now, but I know that I felt like when I knitted this that it must be a way that is like the best way, and I couldn't by myself understand what that was, and this is how it looks for me. So this one is not gonna happen. I feel when I put it like this, I feel the itch, and I feel it when I put my hands in as well. So I mean, it's not something that I just came up with. But you know, it's easy to think that no, it can't be that bad when you feel it, and you feel like no, it's soft. But yeah, you're sensitive in different spots. I have something that I have picked up again, and this is a summer t-shirt. I think maybe I said the last time that I thought of saying it anyway, that I might just do this make this one into a t-shirt. But when I'm trying this on, this is Tolsta t-shirt, Tolsta Tee by Creabea. I feel like it would be so nice with long sleeves, and I would like a, how do you say, trumpet, that it gets wider towards the hand. Although I'm not sure if the yarn will be enough, so I'll just have to see what happens. I chose to make the rib into a twisted rib is the word I'm searching for. And this one is very soft. This is 100% cotton. Like to get that finished soon. Like this first. Another thing that I've been continuing to knit on. Oh dear, I'm in the middle of a row. Anyway, I think it might work. That I've been continuing working on is the Wrap Me Up cardigan, and it's this long now. So because my waist is quite high, and my smallest part of my waist is quite high up, I did make the cut for the flare, how do you say, quite high on this one, because it fits me the best. So that's a taste thing. I think that I'm not sure where I think that I have knit this far from this one since the last time. And it's so soft and fluffy. This is just luxurious. Do you see the fluff? Is it possible to see it? I love the silky part of this yarn as well. It's so shimmery. So this is what we get. As I mentioned, I did get to buy 2 cones of knitting for olive silk mohair from a beautiful shop in Norway. I bought it online, and it was a procedure to get it to Sweden because I didn't know enough about the custom, is that the word? Tullen. And the costs to bring it to another country, to bring it to Sweden, because Norway is not in the EU. But I this is my favorite kind of silk mohair. It's the softest that I've tried. And this is what you get when you try to knit this cardigan. If you want to knit a wrap me up cardigan, you need 4. Of course, you can do it with whatever you like, but in the pattern, it's 4 strands of yarn, 4 strands of silk mohair. It's a lot of silk mohair. So what I do to not have to have, like, I don't even have 4. I don't even have 4 sets of this. So I have 1 strand of each from this 2, and I have wind up. I did wind up 2 strands on. This is just toilet paper thingy, because I mean it's good for the middle. It's steady. So I have 2 strands from this one, and so this is what I get to carry around. It's not my bus knitting. It's not something to bring on the bus. It's by my sofa and sometimes by my bed. I knit this with the size 7mm. Right now I do not remember if that is in the pattern or if it's what I figured I would need for my stitch gauge, but something around that, maybe 8. I'll look that up. That one I actually also started a year ago, so you know you know by now. If you want to follow me, you get to see things from a year ago. Yep, that's how it works. Although I started that with a dream of having it for my bachelor degree. Of course, I didn't have time to finish it, and the summer was crazy, but maybe it can be finished by this summer, or at least by the end of this summer. You never know. Or maybe the next summer. All right. It's getting warm in here because I have wool on my body, and the sun is actually here now. So I have 2 more objects. One object is something that you have seen maybe every episode by now, but this is a new yarn. And this is another vanilla sock. It's the best thing to have on the go. It's small, and it's a few hours just round and round, and I don't have to think, and I can bring it to... Did I bring this to a concert? I think I did. We were at Jonathan Johansson in Gothenburg. It was a nice concert. This is how far I've gotten on the first sock. I'm planning to make the toe later when I have time. Right now I just want to knit round and round on the buzz. So I've started the second one. I knitted on 2mm needles, and it's quite odd now because well, what I did do, since I'm a bit of a, I like when things are, when the socks look the same. So I wanted my socks to be equal, and then I figured, okay, so I need to split it in two to know how much of yarn I have for one sock. Because I didn't do that last time, and that was actually not a problem, so I can say that. Can I say that? Doesn't matter. What I did was I pulled from the middle to make the second ball, which means that when I was on approximately not quite 50 grams, I cut the yarn, and then I started to knit from that ball. And when I then started my second one, the first thing I had to do was to find the same color as I have in the beginning of the other one, which means I actually had to roll up a lot of yarn. Since this is as much as I have left for like the toe and a bit more, I know that I will have enough yarn for this. So that would not be a problem. So this is the very nice, happy socks. I can also show you the label. It's the Regia Daydreaming color, 420 meters per 100 grams. All right, let's get on to the last part of this, and this is the acquisitions part. I did get actually a late Christmas gift between the time we spoke the last time and now. And this is a beautiful book that is so incredibly inspiring. I want to learn everything in this, and it's called The Knitter's Stitch. And it has got both color work and a lot of beautiful stitches, and how to make them, of course. So it's everything from, I don't know how to show you that. I mean, do you see this? To how to make the it's beautiful. So many lovely things. Guess I can show this. Stranded and intarsia. What? It's so inspiring. I'm so thankful for this. Interesting and lovely. All right. I also actually went to Denmark because it was Eurovision Song Contest in Sweden, and since we are from Sweden, me and my boyfriend, and we like Eurovision Song Contest, we decided this is the time that we want to go there and visit and experience the Eurovision Song Contest. It's also in Sweden. We need to be there. So when we the same day that we heard that which city it would be in, the same day that they announced this information, we tried to book a hotel in Malmö, and it was all full already before. I mean, that was crazy. So we figured Copenhagen is a nice town. We like Copenhagen. So we went to Copenhagen instead, and we booked a hotel there. And then we actually got the hold of 2 tickets for the final rehearsal on the same day as the final was gonna happen. So we got to see the final 2 times that day. It was lovely, by the way, lovely. And also, of course, they have the best yarn stores in Copenhagen. I've said this before, and I figured if I am not able to find, because I've been looking not super much, because A, I don't have that much money right now because I'm a trainee, and B, I haven't really had time to go to a lot of yarn stores. But when I've been to yarn stores, I've been asking for something cotton to make something for the summer. Last time I showed you the Emanuel Tee, and in Copenhagen they actually had something. They had this. I got 3 balls. No, I didn't. I have 3 balls here. I did get 6 balls to be sure to have enough for a t-shirt that is a bit oversized. Dreaming of starting with it, but I haven't had the time or the being able to focus on it yet. But this is Kremke Sol Wool Morning Salutation, and it is not only cotton, because it is 51% lyocell and 49% cotton. It is 50 grams and 110 meters per 50 grams, and it looks like this. It's very shiny. And it's very soft, and it's a beautiful color, I think. So I look forward to do that sometime, I don't know when. And they also had something for sale that I don't really know yet what to do with, or how much it will be enough for. But this is 2 pieces of Isaiah Trio 2, made in Italy, and it is 50% linen, 30% cotton, and 20% lyocell. And this is 50 grams per ball, and one ball is 175 meters. It looks like that. I thought it was a nice color. I would say it is a dark blue, and I thought I would combine this with something, but I haven't really thought that thought throughout yet. That's about that for today. Yeah, I also said I would finish this episode with talking some about what my plans are, and actually my plans right now are to go back home to Gothenburg. I do my last week at the European Parliament the next week, and I will be hosting a seminar talking about what clear language is in Sweden and how we work with that in Sweden, how the history is, what we do now. And that will be very interesting. I will be doing that in English for people with working with other languages than Swedish, who are interested in knowing some about how we work. So that's a big thing coming up, and that's kind of all I can focus on. I have applied for some jobs, but you never know. And I don't know anything yet. Except from I am going back to Sweden, and that feels lovely now. I look forward to that, actually. I'm so extremely happy to having been able to be here, to work with the amazing people in the European Parliament, to learn how they work, to hopefully bring something to them as well. But this is an experience, having been living abroad like this is an experience for life, I would say. And I'm very glad I did it. And I will probably miss it when I go back home. I will definitely miss some things, but that's life. This was a part of my life, and I've learned a lot, and I am curious to move on and see what happens next. But first I will have some free time with my boyfriend and with my family, and a lovely summer, and I look forward to that. So we will see when the next episode will be made and where it will be made, and I don't know how much knitting time I will be having. We'll see, basically. Thank you for joining me for this moment. I hope you had a nice time knitting or doing whatever, that I got to keep you company. Thank you for that. I hope to see you again. Take care.